Well, I'm on my way to the barn. It is a little rainy now. The rain's supposed to be intermittent. We weren't going to train today in this. They're gonna train tomorrow. So the ones that I wanted to go with for the most part tomorrow, I'm gonna go with today. So that's the plan for today, and then I'm heading back to Ontario now. Watched 3 races last night. 2 of them were very good, and 1 of them was not. Now I'm going to start with the what not horse, and that was Ready for Landing. Now, James had called me the other day. I trained him 2 weeks ago at the farm. He was a little warm, a little strong in the face. I'm thinking, well, he's been off for a while, so he's just sharp. And this has been a trend of the tactical landings anyway, the ones that we've had. They can get really hot, really strong in the face, and then that dissipates as they start to understand the finer points of their work. Tactical Mounds wore a snake cord for all of her 2-year-old year and the first part of her 3-year-old season also. And then she quieted down, but was still strong. And we trained her back with a snake cord on this year and qualified her with a snake cord on here at Northfield Park. But when you get into a bigger setting like the Meadowlands and you get some speed thrown at you, there's not as much pulling going on when you're going a mile and 52 as there would be if you're going a mile and 57. So the same is for every horse in one way or another. Now, every horse is different, and there's a number of different ways to mitigate that. Now, the wire snake cord seems to work for almost every horse that we've ever put it on, but the odd horse, it does not. You guys know I've been having fits over Born to Dance and his ignorance and rudeness on the track at 2, and then again carried into his 3-year-old season. His qualifier, he was pretty well loose, gone. There's nothing I could do to keep him. It was all I could do just to keep him mildly contained. We put a dog chain on him, which we don't generally use, but we did put one on him. Different horse. Finally. So I trained Ready for Landing 2 weeks ago. He was hot. I dismissed it. He trained good, but he was a little warm. James qualified him and said, "This horse is hot, man." I said, "All right, well, I guess we could try chain in his mouth." Well, they're not always as easy as just going down to Ren's Pet Depot and finding them anymore. We've been to 4 pet stores. They don't carry them anymore. So Jason had ordered the dog chain off Amazon for Born to Dance, so I asked him to order 2 more and have them shipped to Canada. Dominic didn't get them. Well, first off, the one that Dominic got the ones we used were 16-inch dog chains. 18 would be a little too long. So quickly, it just goes around their mouth. It's just a little more pressure on their mouth, just to behave. And if it's too long, the bit sits at the back, so you have the bit in their mouth, and the lines sit at the back of the bit. Now, if the chain's too long, it doesn't matter because it would never tighten on them. There would never be any tension. 16's a little short. 18's too long. We're just looking for the 3 little bears, right? Just tight enough. So Dominic had put a 16-inch one on him. That's the one we use on Born to Dance here. But only got to jog him one day with it on. Now, as the gait picks up speed, you guys can see this. I don't have to, you guys saw what happened. If you look closely, picks up speed, gets a little hot. Jody tightens up on him. Boom. Off goes Ready for Landing. That wasn't a break last night. That was anger, is what that was. That was sheer revolt, is what it was. So, Ready for Landing will train on Saturday. I'll train him myself. And, Amy beat me here. Out of repetition, he will learn to wear this and behave. There are other options we have as far as bits on that bridle, but he's old enough to know better. He did this when we first put the snake cord on him too, and then learned to wear it. So there's no reason that the same thing won't happen with this chain. So last night was nothing more than as I said, anger and rebellion. But that will dissipate. The other 2, I was thoroughly impressed with Victory Blue Chip, closing in 56 and 128 in the end of it. Big mile from him. Really impressed with what I saw from him last night. And then Hallie in the Clouds, as Ken calls her, Haley in the Clouds. I hate that name. Hallie in the Clouds. No, he calls her Holly in the Clouds. I know he does that, his mother. I thought she raced fantastic too. She was trotting hard at the wire. Came from last, followed James, and James won the race fair and square. So it wasn't like she was in the hunt, but she was there, and you can see that there's a nice filly in there. She's learning to do her work. She's closing in at the wire. She's got this big giant gait. She is the horse that we bought, but we'd like to see more, and I think there's a lot more under the hood with her. I think she's going to get better and better and better and better as the year goes on. So a good mile from Hallie in the Clouds, a very good mile from Victory Blue Chip, and a frustrating mile from the other horse. But you know, I'm more apt to just cut him some slack, because I know his default is to fight, right? And he only had that chain on for one day, but he's gonna have to learn to wear it, because he needs to be controlled. He's not going to get away on us any more than Tactical Mounds did, or any of the other horses that we have. You have to be able to race them in an intelligent way, and you have to have them under control. So as much as my partners are going to say, oh my God, he made a break, you guys can tell why he made a break. I don't need to tell you that. You can see it with your own eyes. Exactly what happened with Ready for Landing. Just as I said, just sheer anger. So we'll get to the bottom of that. We'll get him cleaned up and under control. Moving forward, I wish I'd have got a better look at his gait, but can't do that when he's on the run. So I'll give you an update on him after I go with him on Saturday. I told Dominic right after the race, I said he jogs Friday morning with that chain on, and I will train him Saturday morning with that chain on. So I'll be there on Saturday to go with the babies and ready for landing. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I will talk to you soon. I hope you guys have a great day. As I said, intermittent showers here. I got about 7 horses on my list to train, babies, this morning, and then it's off to Ontario. So have a wonderful Friday. We do have a couple of horses racing today. I just had the calendar open a moment ago, so I will look at that right now. 176. Wi-Fi, I gotta put that on. Now it is on. Calendar. We have, okay, upcoming races. Yep. Here we go. We have today, Friday the 19th, we have Vaquero Blue Chip racing today, and we have Great Bet racing tonight. I want to say that we're missing one here, but I see that Saturdays isn't complete yet, the Meadows one. So somebody had asked me yesterday about why doesn't it update. Well, this draws from the USTA, so when the races are finalized, theoretically they're supposed to show up on this calendar, but I don't see Saturdays now. I see Looks Like Money and Yo Mister on Monday, but I do not see our horses Saturday at the Meadows, so I'll have to let Kelly know about that. But tonight, according to this anyway, this afternoon Vaquero Blue Chip is in, and tonight we have Great Bet. So good luck to my partners in those 2 horses. Everybody else the rest of the weekend. I will talk to you all. Did I talk about Texong? I didn't. Texong Soprano raced great last night too. I apologize to Laura and everybody, all my partners on Texong. Raced great. I was talking to Scott in the afternoon. He said, Anthony, that's the open trot. And he could sort of check. A 4th would be great. A 3rd just beat for 2nd and closing in on the leaders. I haven't talked to Scott after, but I suspect is a impressive mile. So we have a horse that is racing well and being actually fairly dominant in Southern Ohio in Spitfire Overseas. Has been handicapped with a 9-hole twice now in the Open. Texong Soprano has found his way to the Open, been an impressive horse for us. And then in Ontario, it Looks Like Money, who's racing the Preferred and Free for All. And Yo Mister, I know Yo Mister found his way in there also. That will happen from time to time. But all 4 of those horses, extremely quality animals, and doing some very, very good work for us. So with that, I'll let you go. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.